धर्मस्य झापवर्गस्य नार्थ अर्थाय उपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय हि स्मितः कामस्य नेन्द्रिय प्रीति लाभ जीवित जावता जीव तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थ जस्ति कर्म भी. What is the aim of life? This is described here. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. The human life begins when he accepts religion. That is the beginning of human life. And that is the difference between human life and dog's life. The dog is engaged always for eating, sleeping, sex life and defending. The hog also engaged always searching after where is food. Although the food is stool, he is busy, and as soon as the body is little strong by eating stool, immediately sex life, without any distinction whether it is mother or sister or daughter, it doesn't matter. This is hog's life, by nature's example. Therefore, Shastra says that ayang deha nayang deha dehu bhajang niloke kastan kaman arhati bir bhujangaji. This human form of life, devabhagi, the cats and dogs and hogs, they have also accepted a body. And the trees, the plants, the insects, the birds, beasts, everyone has got body, material body. Karanam gunasangasya, I have explained, is according to the infection of the modes of material nature, one is getting a type of body. Nature's way. Prakritet kriyamanani, gunai karmani. The same example, if you contaminate some disease, you will have to suffer or you will have to accept that disease. So similarly, this is the nature's way. If you are associating with a certain type of quality of the material nature, you are preparing your body for that purpose. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimuratma kartaham iti mannati. We are very much proud of our body. I am American, I am Indian, I am Prime Minister, I am this, I am that. The dog is also very much proud. I am greyhound, I am this, bulldog, I am this. Yes. Everyone is proud. However nasty body he may be. The hog is also very proud, although he is eating stew and living in a very filthy place. But if you want to drag him from that place, he will no, I don't go. And I am very happy. There is a story in the Bhagavad that once Brahma was cursed and he became a hog in this world. No, Indra, I am sorry. Indra, because Indra was very offending. So he was cursed. He became a hog. So Brahma thought that in the absence of Indra, the kingdom of heaven is not managed very nicely. So let me go and bring him again. Excuse. So when he came, he asked the hog that come with me. Where? And to the heaven. Oh, I cannot go. I have got my responsibility. I have got my responsibility. I cannot go. So this is the position. Everyone is very happy. This is called Maya's influence. Unless a hog feels happy, how he can live in this abominable life? This is called prakhevatmika asakti, covering. If one man knows that I was king in my previous life, now I have become a poor cobbler or something like, then he will become mad. So therefore he forgets. Death means forget. Because the living entity does not die. Na hannate hannamane sariri. There is no death. Death means forgetting everything of my past life, that's all. Just like we forget at night, when we dream, we accept another body and we forget this body. And in the daytime, we forget the night dream body and accept this body. We have got daily experience. So death means forgetting the past life. Otherwise there was past life, that's a fact. But as we forget daily, night body in the daytime and day body at night time, so similarly, we are changing our body according to the infection of the quality of material nature, and we are entangled in this material world. Although we are part and parcel of Krishna, God, or we are sons of God, but unfortunately we have come in contact of this material world and making our different types of body by the contamination of the material modes of nature. This is going on. Therefore, Krishna comes. Krishna is the father of everyone. He canvasses. My dear children, why you are rotting in this material world? Come back. Sarvadhamman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja aham tva sarva pape bhamokkhayasami. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. So, dharma means to understand my relationship with God. That is dharma. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat panitam. Just like a good citizen means who knows the relationship with the state. That is good citizenship. Bad citizenship means who doesn't care for the state. That is bad citizenship, criminal. They are put into the prison house. Similarly, the living entities, they are part and parcel of God. But when they are not ready or prepared to abide by the laws of God, they are put into this material world, beginning from Brahma, Abrahma Bhuvana Lokan Punaravartina Arjuna. They are rotating in this way. So, dharma means to abide by the laws of God, just like good citizen means to abide by the state laws. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat padita. So here it is said, dharmasya hi apavargasya, apavarga and pavarga. This material life is pavarga. Pavarga means those who are acquainted with grammar, there are vargas, ka varga, kha varga, ka varga, cha varga, ta varga. Similarly, pa varga. Pa varga means pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. 5. So pa represents parishram, labor, hard labor. This material world, you have to work. Either you are a human being or a hog or dog or cat, it doesn't matter, you have to work. And very severe work, so that foam will come within your mouth. Paw. Then paw, baw. Baw means barthata, baffledness. And paw means bhav, always fearful. What will happen next? What will happen next? And in this way, mrityu, maran. This is called material life. There is no more gain. Simply paw, baw, bhav, that's all. This is material life. And apavarga means just the opposite, to nullify this pavarga business. So here it is said, dharmasya hi apavargasya. Religion means how to get out of these pavargas. That is dharma. Bhagavad says, dharmasya hi apavargasya na artha arthaya upakalpate. Generally people go to church, to temple for some material benefit. Therefore, Shastra says, no, dharma is not meant for that purpose. People have become materialistic more and more because, just like in our country, that if you want economic development, then why should you go to temple? The communist theory is also like that. That if you want material happiness, why you are going to church and accepting, oh God, give us our daily bread. The bread you manufacture, you just work for it. In one side it is good. But this is also a fact that without God's mercy, you cannot get even bread. Although bread you can manufacture, but the ingredients of the bread, the wheat, that is not in your hand. You cannot manufacture in the factory. That is in the hand of Prakriti, nature. And Prakriti is working under the control of the Supreme Lord. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Maya dhakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. So, it is the Prakriti's business to control food supply when people become godless. That is Prakriti's business. Because Prakriti, these statements are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the story of Maharaj Prithu. So Prakriti said that because people have become godless, demons, I have restricted my supply. Therefore, everything depends on the mercy of the Lord. Therefore, dharma means to abide by the laws of God. That is dharma. So that you can get out of the entanglement of this pavarga. Dharma sahi apavarga, na arthaya upakalpate, not for economic development. Don't go to the church, don't go to the temple for your economic development. Although in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, artho artharthi jnani jigyashu, chaturvida bhajante man sukrita na arjuna. 4 kinds of men, those who are artha, distressed, artharthi, in need of money, they come to me. That is also good. But that is not the meaning of dharma. Dharma sahi apavargasya. You have to execute religious system only to get out of the entanglement of this power. That is the purpose. Dharma sahi apavargasya. Artha, no arthaya upakalpate, not for economic development. In our Vedic literature, you will never find these things, that economic development. Of course, the economic developments in the Shastra, there are in the Vedic literature, to sacrifice. Jagyate karmannatro. Jagyat bhavati parjanyat anna sambhava. That is there. But that is not the purpose. Real purpose is how to get out of the entanglement of poverty. Dharma sahi apavargasya. Na arthaya upakalpati. That you can say, do you require some money? Yes, you require money, that's all right. Economic development, there is need. Therefore it is said, no arthasya dharmaikantasya kamolabhaya hismita. That you require money because you have got this body. You have got to gratify your senses, that is right. But not for sense gratification, only for sense gratification. No. Dharmasya narthasya, arthasya. The money which you get, that is not meant for sense gratification. Dharmaikantasya, actually who is religious, who is interested in religion, for him this economic development, getting money is not meant for sense gratification. Narthasya dharmaikantasya kamolabhaya smita. But we have got demands of our body. What to do? Kamolabhaya. The kam is there, the demands of the senses. Therefore it is said, kamasya nendriya priti. You can get the supply of the necessities of your senses as much as you require. That is also conferred in the Bhagavad Gita. Juktahara viharasya yoga bhavati siddhita. Juktahara. You should eat what is actually needed by you. Don't eat more. The human being, there is, certainly we are eating, but we are eating. A Krishna conscious person eats Krishna prasadam. Patram puspam phalam tuyam jumi bhaktya prajachyati. Our business is to eat. We don't say that we are vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Vegetarian and non-vegetarian, it does not make very much difference. Jo pachanti atmakarana bhunjante te agham papam. If you eat only for yourself, for sense gratification, it doesn't matter whether you are vegetarian or non-vegetarian. You are simply eating sinful results of your life. Je pachanti atmakarana jagyarthe karmannatra lokayam karma bandhana. So our business is, so far we are concerned, Krishna conscious people, we are not advocates of vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Of course, vegetarianism is very good, even for health's sake. But we do not take vegetables even if it is not offered to Krishna. That is our principle. If Krishna says that you give me non-vegetarian diet, then we can eat also. But Krishna does not say so. Krishna says, Patram puspam phalam tuya jomi bhakta prajachyati. So we are preparing so many nice foodstuffs with this patram puspam phalam tuyam. We can prepare many hundreds of preparation of this patram puspam phalam tuyam, and we can offer Krishna and then take prasad. That is our life. The human life is not meant for sense gratification. Sense gratification, mind, food is Krishna prasadam. Why shall I go to restaurant? And this is tapasya. Eating is not stopped. But don't eat anything which is not Krishna prasadam. That is Krishna consciousness. If you for satisfaction of your tongue, you get money and satisfy your tongue, that is forbidden. It is said that kamasya na indriya priti. You have demand. You have to demand of the body. You have to eat something. You have to sleep somewhere. you must have some sense gratification, you must protect yourself from attack of others, that is all right. But don't do all these things for sense gratification. This is the injunction of the Shastra. Just like Arjuna fought. Arjuna fought not for sense gratification. He fought for satisfying Krishna. Because Arjuna, first of all, he was trying to satisfy his senses. He said to Krishna, my dear Krishna, they are all my relatives. The other side, my grandfather, my brothers, my nephews, my son-in-law. Oh, how can I fight with them? This consideration was for sense gratification. He was thinking that in this way I shall be satisfied, personally. But there was no question of satisfying Krishna. But when he understood that his business was to satisfy Krishna, then he agreed. Krishna inquired whether you have now decided to fight or not. He said, yes, nasto moho sitting labdha. I have now got back my memory and my moha, illusion is now lost. I shall fight. So this fighting was service to Krishna. It is not a sense gratification. Rather, when he was trying to become non-violent, very good man, not to fight, sacrifice for the other party, that was sense gratification. This is the distinction between bhakti and karma. Karma is sense gratification, and bhakti is satisfying the Lord. The same thing. Therefore, people cannot understand what is the difference between a bhakta and a karmi. Karmi is satisfying his own senses, and the bhakta is satisfying Krishna's senses. There must be some sense gratification. But when you satisfy Krishna, that is called bhakti. Rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Rishik means senses, purified senses. That I explained the other day. Sarvapadhi vinirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Bhakti does not mean stop your work. Bhakti does not mean sentimental fanaticism. That is not bhakti. Bhakti means to engage all your senses for the satisfaction of the proprietor of the sense. That is called bhakti. Therefore, Krishna's name is Rishikesha. Rishik means senses. And Rishika Isha, he is the controller of the senses. Actually, our senses are working not independently. We can understand it. The Krishna is directed. Sarvasya chaham ridishan nivishta matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. Matta smriti jnanam apohanancha. A scientist is working because Krishna is helping him. Not that he is independently working. That is not possible. But he wanted in that way. Therefore Krishna is giving him facilities. But actually Krishna is working. These are explained in the Upanishad. Without Krishna working, without seeing, without Krishna seeing, you cannot see. Just like the sun sign is explained in the Brahma Samhita. Jat chaksuresha savita sakala grahana. The sun is one of the eyes of Krishna. Jat chaksuresha savita sakala grahana. Raja samastha suramurti asesa teja jassagya bhramati sambritakala chakro govindamadi purusham tavaham bhajan. Therefore, sun being one of the eyes of Krishna, because the sun's rise is there, because sun is seeing, therefore you are seeing. You cannot see independently. You are so much proud of your eyes. What is the value of your eyes if there is no sunrise? You cannot see. Even this electricity that is derived from sun, So, actually, when Krishna sees, you can see. That is the position. So our senses, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Sarvato Panipadastha. Sarvato Panipadastha, everywhere Krishna has his hands and legs. What are that? My hand, your leg, that is Krishna's. Just like if somebody says, I have got branches all over the world. So those branches are working on the management of the Supreme Person, namely Krishna. Krishna is therefore called Rishikesh. Rishikesh. So business is, bhakti means when we engage our rishik, our indriyas, our senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses, that is our perfect life. That is our perfect life. But as soon as we desire to use our senses for the gratification of the senses, that is called karma, that is called material life. So therefore, for a bhakta, there is nothing material. That is Ishavasmidam sarvam. The bhakta sees that everything belongs to Krishna. Ishavasmidam sarvam. Jat kinchit jagatya jagat tena taktena bhunjitha. Everything belongs to Krishna. Therefore, whatever Krishna gives us, just like a master allots something to the servant, you can enjoy this. That prasadam. Prasada is sarvadukhanam, hanirasya. This is the life. If you become Krishna conscious, if you understand that everything belongs to Krishna, even my hands and legs, they also belong to Krishna. All the parts of my body, they belong to Krishna. Then it should be used for Krishna. That is called bhakti. Anna vilasita sunnam, jnana karmadana avritam, anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti vittava. That Krishna did, Arjuna did. He wanted to satisfy his senses by not fighting, but he agreed after hearing Bhagavad Gita that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Person. Aham sarvasya prabhava, matta sarvam pravartate, iti matya bhajanti ma buddha bhava samannita. These things are very nicely explained in the Bhagavad Gita. That is the preliminary study of spiritual life. And if we are actually convinced of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, then we surrender to Krishna. Krishna wants that. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. That's he wants. When we actually take to this process, this is called Shraddha. Shraddha. That has been explained by Kaviraj Goswami. What is the meaning of Shraddha? Shraddha shabde vishwas sudhira nishcha. Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita bhava. This is called Shraddha. Shraddha means firm faith. What is that firm faith? Firm faith means that Krishna says, the sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. When you take this conclusion, yes, by surrender to Krishna, by surrendering unto the lotus feet of Krishna, everything is done very nicely. This is called Shraddha. And the more you increase this Shraddha, the more you become perfect. This is Krishna consciousness moment. Beginning is the Shraddha. Ado Shraddha. If you don't believe, you are reading Bhagavad Gita 300 years, but don't believe that I have to surrender to Krishna. Then what is the use of reading Bhagavad Gita? All these rascals, they are reading Bhagavad Gita, but they are no concern with Krishna. Forget Krishna. This is reading of Bhagavad Gita. Useless waste of time. Useless waste of time. If you do not understand the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, why you are sarva eva ikeva? That has been explained in the previous verse. Dharma sanusthita pungsang vishaksena kathasuja nutpada edrating jadi sarva eva ikeva. If you do not understand Krishna, if you do not surrender to Krishna, then you are simply wasting your time. There is no meaning of writing big comments on Bhagavad Gita uselessly. Waste your time and waste others' time. This is the real problem. Shraddha. The Krishna say, by surrendering to Krishna, everything will be done. Aham tang sarva pape bhavakkasi. See, if one has no Shraddha, faith, on this instruction of Krishna, manmana bhavamad bhaktamad, then there is no use, simply waste of time. If we come to this point, Ado Shraddha, this is called Shraddha. Then, the next stage is Ado Shraddha tato sadhu sangha. If one is convinced that surrendering to Krishna, my all business will be perfect. This is called Shraddha. Then we have to seek out who are engaged in Krishna consciousness. Sadhu sangha. Sadhu means Krishna conscious person. Sadhu does not mean having a big beard and nice dress or a saffron colored dress. That is not sadhu. Sadhu is described in the Bhagavad Gita, opite sudurachara bhajate mam anannabha sadhureva samam. That is sadhu. Who has no other business than to serve Krishna. He is sadhu. He is sadhu. Because he has accepted the principle. Sarva dharman parityajya mamikam. Sadhureva samantabba sammak bhavasita. You cannot say, oh, he has got some bad principle in his life, although he is worshipping Krishna wholeheartedly, but he has got some defect. Therefore Krishna says, opite suduracha. Even if he has got so many defects of his life, because he has dedicated his life for Krishna's service, sadhureva samantabba. So, if you have got Shraddha, that by surrendering to Krishna, your all purpose of life will be practical or fruitful, then you have to associate with such persons who are engaged in the service of Krishna. Sadhu sangha. Ado Shraddha tato sadhu sangha. Therefore this movement is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So actually, one by one, as people are coming to the association of societies, automatically he is becoming Krishna conscious. That is practical. Ado Shraddha tato sadhu sangha. This is sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha does not mean to associate with some saffron-colored man. Sadhu sangha means to associate with Krishna conscious person. This is Shastra. Ado Shraddha tato sadhu. This is Rupa Goswami's direction. That if you want to develop your love for Krishna, this is the process. Because real purpose of life is not dharma, artha, kam, moksha. That will be explained here. Jivasya tattva jignasa. What is the absolute truth? What is the aim of life? Then, this is the process. Ado Shraddha tato sadhu sangha ata bhajana kriya. Practically I have seen these boys and girls, Europe and America, they first of all came to me and they associated, abided by my orders. Then automatically they wanted to be initiated. We are doing that. Every day we are initiating some new devotees. This is called bhajana kriya. He will be automatically anxious. If one associates with sadhu, then he will be automatically anxious to accept bhajana kriya, initiation. Then you have to rise early in the morning, you have to offer Mangalarutri, you have to do this, you have to do that. 24 hours program is there. That is called bhajana kriya. Ado Shraddha tato sadhu sangha tato bhajana kriya tato anartha nivitti syat. Anartha means useless habits. Just like one smokes. It is useless habit. By bad association, one becomes a smoker, one becomes a drunkard, one becomes a meat eater, one becomes a gambler. These are anarthas. So everyone in this age, everyone is associated with this anartha. But if he takes to Krishna bhajan, bhajana kriya, then anartha nivitti syat. Practically you can see these boys and girls, they are no more meat eaters, they are no more taking any intoxicants, they are no more gambler, no more illicit sex hunters, no. Everything stopped. This is anartha, this is called mukti. This is called mukti. As soon as you get rid of these bad sinful activities, you are mukta. That is called mukti. And after mukti, tato nishtha, then you have got firm conviction. Yes, Krishna consciousness is the only business. Tato nishtha, tato ruchi. Then you increase your taste. Tatha shakti, then you become attached to Krishna. That is the beginning of Krishna consciousness, bhakti yoga. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Maya sakta mana prartha yoga vijanjan madasraya. When you increase your attachment to Krishna, that is required. Increase, you have got attachment for your family, for your body, for your society, for your country, everything, that's all right. But you have to convert them. You have to increase attachment for Krishna. That is called bhakti yoga. Maya sakta mana prartha yoga vijanjan madasraya. Asangsayam samagram mang jatha gyasasi tatchino. Krishna says in the 7th chapter, in the beginning. So, everything is there. If we actually want to make our life perfect, the directions are already there. We have got the Vedic knowledge, treasure house of spiritual knowledge. And the Bhagavad Gita is the gist, is the summary, Gita Upanishad, it is called Upanishad. If you simply study Bhagavad Gita as it is, without foolishly interpreting it, that will spoil. Don't interpret. Just like you have given Paramarna or kheer. Everyone knows what is kheer. Milk and rice cooked together with sugar. Very nice food stuff. But if you add with it several grains of sand, it becomes useless. You cannot eat. Simply a few grains of sand, then it is useless. Similarly, these rascaldom of commentary, a few grains of sand, we spoil Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Sri Sanatana Goswami has advised how to save yourself from this rascaldom. He says, Avaishnava mukhadginna puto hari kathamritam savanam na kartam. Puto hari kathamritam, hari katha. Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita, therefore it is called Hari Katha, Krishna Katha. So what the Sanatana Goswami says, if it is uttered by a Vaishnava, he is not a devotee, he is a professional man, so-called scholar and politician, don't hear it. Don't hear it. Avaishnava, because he is not a Vaishnava. Avaishnava mukhadginna, puto hari katha. Hari katha means Krishna's word, they are very purified, that's all right. But no savanam na kartabam. Why? Because sarpachishta payojatha, just like milk. Milk is very good food, but if it is touched by the tongue of a serpent, it becomes poison. If you eat that kind of milk, your life will be finished. Similarly, our only request is that don't try to read Bhagavad Gita commented by unauthorized so-called scholars or politicians. Simply read Bhagavad Gita as it is. Simply accept what Krishna says. Then you will be benefited. Krishna says dharma khetra. Not Krishna said Sanjaya uvacha. Dharma khetri kurukhetna. Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dhritarashtra says Dharma khetre kurukhetre samavita jadusava. Mamoka pandava shaiva kima purvata Sanjaya. He is asking his secretary. He was a blind man. So he is asking in Saitari, my dear Sanjaya, after my boys, Mamoka and Pandava, my sons of my younger brother Pandu, Samaveta Jujutsava, they assembled for fighting in the Dharma Khetra Kurukshetra. Dharma Kurukshetra is still there, everyone knows. And it is Dharma Khetra, everyone knows. Then where is the difficulty to understand Dharma Khetra, Kurukshetra, Mamoka, Pandu? But if you foolishly interpret Dharma Khetra means this, and Kurukshetra means that, and Pandava means that, you spoil the whole thing. That is going on. Otherwise there is no difficulty. Dharma Khetra, Kurukshetra, Samaveta, Jujutsava. Actually it is historical fact. Mahabharata. There was fight between two cousin brothers. No, Pandava means this and the Kurukshetra means this and this means this. In this way things are being spoiled. So we are misled in that way. Actually, if we read Bhagavad Gita as it is, as a devotee, because without being devotee, nobody can understand Bhagavad Gita. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, in so many places it is stated, Bhakta mam vijanati, javan jaschami tot. Bhakta, only through devotion, only becoming a devotee, you can understand Krishna. Otherwise you cannot. Nahang prakasa sarvasya yogmaya samavrita. I am not exposed to anyone. Yogmaya samavrita. Only Bhakta mam vijanati. This is the way. And this life is meant for that purpose. That is the advice of the Vedic. So Arjuna is inquiring from Krishna and he says, Janmadasya jataha aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. So Bhagavad Gita is real Vedanta. And if one understands Bhagavad Gita as it is, he is really Vedantist. Veda means knowledge and Anta means the last word. The last word of knowledge is Krishna. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan manga prapaddati. If one does not understand Krishna and does not surrender to Krishna, he is simply uselessly wasting time. That is the verdict of all Vedic literature. Therefore in the Srimad Bhagavata it is said, Kamasya nendriya priti. Kamasya nendriya priti lava jivita. Simply take so much as you will need, not for sense gratification. That is the process. Don't take more, don't take less. Yuktahara vihara. Shastra does not advise you that you starve. Unnecessarily you starve. No. Krishna has condemned one who unnecessarily starves. You take food stuff, but don't take anything which is forbidden. Take Krishna prasada. Patram puspam phalam. Don't try to satisfy your senses. The senses will be satisfied. There are so many varieties of food, Krishna prasad, that these Europeans and Americans, they used to take meat. Now, if you give them bribe that you take again, because they have learned to cook so many nice food stuff. Ask any one of them. Parangdishta. Parangdishta, when you get better thing, nivartate, then you give us, which is not very good. So this Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness is so nice that if you take it very seriously, if you enter into the mystery of this Bhakti Yoga, it is not a mystery, it is very open, then naturally, parangdishta nivartate, and that is required. Vairag. Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prerita Janayati Asu Vairagam Jnanancha Jadahita. We have discussed this part. So, our only request is that don't take this Krishna consciousness movement as some sentimental, religious propaganda. No. It is not. It is scientific. It is to save the human society from gliding down to the abominable condition. Adanta gobhi visatang tamissam punah punachar vitachar vanat. Bhagavad says. Adanta Gop, Nate Vidu Sartha Gatingi Vishnu. Adanta, the first is, Matinla Krishne Parato Satova. Matinla Krishne Parato Satova. Mitho Vipaddeta Grihavrtanam. Those who are Grihavrata means simply materialistic or simply this life, this body, I am this body, and the offspring of this body, they are my kinsmen, I have to maintain them. Or expanding, they are my kinsmen, they are my family men, they are my nation. This is called Grihamedi. So such Grihamedi, Matinna Krishna, they cannot understand what is Krishna consciousness. Matinna Krishna Parato Satova. Parato means by instruction of superior person, Parato, a Sato, by reading himself. Mitho Vipaddit, or holding big meeting. They cannot understand. Why? Because Grihavratana. What is the business of Grihavrata? Adanta Gobhi, Visdanta Misram, Puna Charvita Charvananam. By being unable to control the senses, creating another body. Another body, the sense gratification. Either as God, demigod, or as dog, or as hog, or as human being, as tree or insect. The business is ahara nidra bhayavad. Puna charvita charva. Puna the same thing is doing. He does not know. The real business is how to get out of this entanglement of pavarga, repetition of birth, death, old age and disease. He does not know. There is no science, there is no education. There is only education in the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, we have to, if you want to save the world, if you want to save the human civilization, you have to take to this proposition of Bhagavad Gita, learn it scientifically and make your life successful. Thank you very much.